Have you ever stayed awake at night, replaying the same situation in your head over and over, wondering what you could have done differently? That constant loop of thoughts is called overthinking, and while occasional reflection is healthy, chronic overthinking can be harmful. In today's fast-paced, highly competitive world, our minds rarely rest. We analyze conversations, decisions, relationships, and even the future endlessly. But instead of solving problems, overthinking magnifies them. It creates unnecessary stress, drains emotional energy, and keeps us stuck in a cycle of doubt and fear. Research in psychology shows that overthinking is linked to anxiety, depression, poor decision making, and reduced productivity. It doesn't just affect mental health, it also impacts relationships, work performance, and even physical well-being. This effort of exploring why overthinking impacts us so deeply, the science behind it, and practical strategies to break free from this mental trap. A. Arguments why overthinking happens and how it impacts us. Overthinking is not just a habit, it's a psychological pattern deeply connected to our emotions, fears, and coping mechanisms. Let's explore the key reasons why it happens and its impact. The root cause: fear of the unknown. Our brain naturally seeks certainty and control. When faced with uncertainty about relationships, careers, or life decisions, we tend to overanalyze possibilities. This leads to constant what if thinking, which magnifies anxiety and prevents us from taking action. Example: what if I fail the interview? Hours of mental replaying, lower confidence, reduced performance, emotional trauma, and past experiences. People who have faced repeated rejection, failure, or betrayal are more prone to overthinking. The mind replays past scenarios as a defense mechanism, trying to avoid similar pain in the future. Unfortunately, this causes us to relive emotional wounds repeatedly instead of healing from them. Perfectionism and self-doubt. Perfectionists are highly likely to overthink because they fear making mistakes. Self-doubt creates a cycle. Am I good enough? What will others think? I shouldn't make a wrong move. This constant internal criticism paralyzes decision-making and lowers self-esteem. Relationship-based overthinking. In romantic, family, or work relationships, overanalyzing words, actions, and intentions can cause emotional exhaustion. For example, reading too much into someone's text message, overinterpreting silence or lack of response. Such patterns often lead to misunderstandings, insecurity, and conflicts. Impact on mental and physical health. Overthinking doesn't only affect the mind, it deeply impacts the body. Mental health issues, anxiety, depression, and obsessive thinking. Sleep disturbances, difficulty falling asleep due to racing thoughts, chronic stress, triggers headaches, fatigue, and digestive issues. Reduced immunity, long-term overthinking weakens the body's natural defenses. The deep psychological and emotional impact of overthinking. Now that we've identified why overthinking happens, let's discuss how it damages mental balance, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life. Paralysis by analysis. Overthinking leads to decision paralysis. Instead of making choices confidently, we keep evaluating every possible outcome. This delays action, causes missed opportunities, and builds frustration. Over time, our self-trust erodes, making us less decisive in all areas of life. Anxiety and depression connection studies show that chronic overthinking triggers the stress hormone cortisol. Constant stress pushes the brain into fight or flight mode, even when no real danger exists. Over time, this mental state leads to anxiety disorders and depressive episodes. The cycle looks like this: overthinking, stress, emotional fatigue, hopelessness, more overthinking. Overthinking in relationships. Overthinking makes us seek validation and misinterpret behaviors. When we replay conversations or texts, we often assume negative intentions where none exist. This creates unnecessary conflicts, trust issues, and emotional distance between partners or friends. Loss of present moment awareness. One of the most damaging effects of overthinking is missing the present moment. Instead of enjoying life, we're stuck worrying about the past or future. This reduces happiness, satisfaction, and mindful living. Reduced productivity and creativity. Overthinking consumes mental bandwidth, leaving less energy for problem solving and creativity. In workplaces, chronic overthinkers struggle with decision making, procrastinate, and often burn out faster. Actionable solutions. How to stop overthinking and regain control. Breaking the habit of overthinking requires conscious strategies. Here are practical research-backed methods. Practice mindfulness and grounding techniques. Mindfulness meditation helps bring attention to the present moment. Techniques like deep breathing, body scanning, and grounding exercises reduce mental noise. Even 5 minutes daily can retrain your brain to stay focused and calm. Set time limits for decision making. Give yourself strict deadlines when analyzing situations. Example, I'll think about this decision for 20 minutes, then act. Limiting thought cycles reduces mental fatigue and builds confidence. Journaling for mental clarity. Writing down worries on paper declutters the mind. You can list problems, possible solutions, final decision. This technique provides perspective and reduces cognitive overload. 4. Challenge negative thought patterns. Is this thought based on facts or assumptions? Will this matter a year from now? What's the worst that can happen, and can I handle it? Reframing thoughts builds emotional resilience. 5. Limit information overload. Too much exposure to news, social media, and comparisons fuels overthinking. Set healthy boundaries. Choose quality over quantity when consuming information. Seek professional help if needed. If overthinking leads to anxiety, panic attacks, or depression, therapy can help. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is highly effective in breaking rumination cycles and improving emotional regulation. Overthinking may feel like you're solving problems, but in reality, it amplifies them. It robs your peace of mind, weakens relationships, and damages mental and physical health.